him.
I'm still salty.
It's okay. All right, we'll open up for questions.
Spencer, how do you feel about being the oldest player in Division I college basketball?
It's awesome. It's been my dream since a little kid to be the oldest player in college basketball, so dream come true.
What is it actually like? How do you actually like conceptualize it though? Like, do you think it's funny? Do you think it's like annoying? Do you not?
Oh, I mean, it is what it is. Like, nothing I can do to change it, so we're just rolling with it. It's pretty fun.
What are the benefits of being kind of like an elder statesman, quote unquote, on this team?
Oh, man. I don't know. Are there any benefits to it?
I'd say little things like you kicking the ball out of bounds. What was it, yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Vet
Just
moves.
Little vet moves, yeah.
Having been around college basketball a little bit,
Right.
we learned some things, so.
What is this story that he half told?
We were playing, I think it was like a shell drill we were doing, and we were playing against a scout team. Scout team was scoring a couple buckets. We were trying to get a stop, and the ball's run out of bounds, and Scout tried to save it, but Spencer just came over and kicked it out of bounds. Just a little vet move.
How do you guys stay grounded after getting now all this praise and accolades, being now ranked in the top 25? What keeps you guys grounded going forward?
Just the fact that it's early in the season. We still have a lot left to accomplish. You know, my second year here, we got up. We were ranked number 12. We beat Oregon, and that was really early in the year. And then as the season progressed, we went through some rough patches, and we ended up not even making the tournament. We played in the NIT. So it's just a long season. There's a lot left to accomplish, and there's a lot left to do.
Is it kind of rewarding, though, to be getting that early recognition for you guys' high-level play so far?
Yeah, it does. It feels good. It does feel really good.
I would say so. I mean, kind of like Spencer was saying, I wasn't here the year that they were ranked number 12, but, you know, being at like a high-level Arkansas team when we were ranked, I mean, any given night, doesn't matter who you are, you can always lose a game. So just staying on our toes, making sure that we're not too focused on the ranking, stuff like that, and making sure we're taking care of business is the biggest thing.
Does it help keep you guys grounded when, I mean, I don't know if you look up your ranking, but if you did, you look around you and go, okay, Big 12, rest of the conference, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, does that kind of help keep you grounded as well, being like, can't take a night off?
I mean, when you put it that way, yeah, but I think we all know the Big 12 is one of the best conferences, if not the best in the country, so making sure that we know that without the ranking, that every night's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, what do you think has led you to shoot your three ball in particular so well?
I'm sorry?
What's led you guys to be able to shoot the three ball so well so far this year?
Just confidence in myself, and then also my teammates having confidence in me, my coaches, staying consistent, putting in the work every day.
Spence, what part of the scout is most helpful to you when you're preparing for an opponent? Is it the individual, here's the guys you'll be guarding? Is it here's what they run? What sort of things key you?
For me, a combination of both. Definitely a big part of our defensive scheme is being able to know the tendencies of the guy you're guarding, which then in turn helps, I guess, your team scout and the plays that they run. So when you focus in on I guess the man that you're guarding, you know, his tendencies, what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do, and then kind of the actions they run, you can know, hey, I can help a little bit here. On this action, I kind of got to be more sucked up to my guy, or I can be more in the gap. So just little things like that.
Jack just talked about the depth of the team. No Foose, no Atiki in that last game, and you know the comeback you guys were able to have. Just what do you attribute that to?
I mean, big praise to Ali stepping up. He hadn't practiced in a couple of days, and he came out, and I don't think anybody expected him to play, what was it, like 27, 25 minutes, something like that. But, I mean, he came and showed up, gave us big rebounds, big assist opportunities, stuff like that. He makes everybody else on the floor better. And I'm sure Spencer loves playing with him just as much as I do. So.
Love it. such a good passer.
He kind of adds that different element to the offense as a really elite passing big.
Mhm.
What is it about his game that makes him so effective in that guard?
He's really tall, so he can see over everyone, or he can see different angles that way. He's really confident when he makes a pass. Like, I think a lot of the dudes will be like, "Oh, should I throw it? I don't want to, have this turnover." But he's just like whipping that thing around, which is really fun. And I think we all know, like when Ali's in the game, if you cut super hard, you're gonna get the ball and you're gonna score. So,
What do you like or dislike, if anything, about playing a game at the Delta Center?
I don't know. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, last time we played there, the first time was great. Second time wasn't so great, but we definitely have our revenge coming in, making sure we take care of business, come out with a win. So
Does it feel a lot different than the Marriott Center being an NBA arena?
I personally can't tell a difference. Basketball is just basketball to me. Doesn't matter where I'm at, what court I'm on. I'm just gonna go out there and play.
Aren't they pretty similar in seating numbers? They're like pretty close, right? Yeah. Not too bad.
Yes, you guys are 6th in the country offensively in points scored, I think.
Mhm.
13th in points allowed. What side of the ball are you more proud of in terms of?
Oh man, both.
It's a tough one.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
We've worked super hard on both. Offensively, we have a lot of dudes that can score. I want to say we have 6 or 7 guys that are like 10 points or above, or right around there. So a lot of dudes that can score, a lot of dudes that can shoot, and that's really hard to guard. We get out in transition, and we have these transition goals, and it goes for number of threes we want to get up every game, and that's been super effective for us. And then defensively, just trying to be disruptive, so then we can go score, right? So we can get out on offense more. But it's just been super fun.
Last
Two
year,
more questions.
in the early parts of the year, there was a lot of talk about pace and getting up and down, and
Yeah.
it never seemed to materialize like it has this year. Why do you think it's been so different from one year to another in terms of getting up and down and shooting the ball a lot better?
Just having more time with each other. Like last year, we had a lot of transfers. We were trying to figure each other out, and we were young. And now having the whole summer, our foreign tour we took, and then leading up to it, we just had more time to really iron out kind of those little details.
Spencer,
Last question.
Spencer, have you gotten to the point where you're having trouble relating to some of your younger teammates? And do any of your younger teammates rib you at all for being quote unquote old?
They definitely rib me, but I haven't had any trouble relating to them. Yeah, good dudes, and we all get along super well. It's been fun.
One more question. Anybody?
Jax, what's working so well for you coming off the bench right now with your game? I mean, you're playing a lot of minutes, so maybe the bench part doesn't matter, but it seems like it's pretty terrifying. You're leading the team in scoring, and I gotta imagine, maybe Spencer could back me up there a little bit too, but I gotta imagine you come up off the bench, that's gotta be terrifying to a lot of guys. Just what's kind of flowing with your game from that standpoint?
Just focusing on what I can control. My minutes is something I can't control. That's up to, or it partially is, but for the most part, it's up to the coaches. So just making sure when I get into the game that I'm utilizing the time that I have and trying to make winning plays, make sure we are winning. So.
Thanks, guys.
That's
We're gonna see you guys at the Delta Center.
Yep. Isn't it great that we can call it that again?
I know.
Jackson, did you watch Arkansas last night?
I did, yeah. It was a good game. I thought they were going to choke it then, man.
They were close, like, uh-oh, here we go. Here they come, here it comes again. They pulled through, I was like, uh-oh.
It was a good game. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Coach?
ESPN's gonna make you Jason Tatum graphic. You see that?
Hey, he's having more cougar tails, so that's all that matters.
You know what's funny though? Have you seen all the comments about it?
Yes.
If you're not around BYU, you don't know what a cougar tail is.
You have no idea.
So a lot of people are like,
They're yeah, that's why I left it that, so yeah, I didn't get into it.
filming like a sexual way, and everyone's like, it's a cougar tail.
Spencer 100% has been tagged in some off-color conversations on Instagram about cougar tails.
We're just talking maple bars. That's all we're talking
We're
about.
talking about maple bars, guys. Sometimes they maple donuts.
We need a Sean Farnham PSA, like a NBC, the more you know. It's like,
Hey, Spence, don't forget your walker.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Yo, man, you got
He went there. This man went there.
Everybody go in there.
I'm writing that down. I'm not joking.
Cool, don't forget your walking spoons.
All right, fire away, guys.
Coach, piggybacking on that quip you just made walking in here, what's it like for you as a coach and the team dynamic to have the oldest player in college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's an unbelievable luxury for us. Spence is such an incredible leader, and most exciting has been the chance to watch him grow. You know, man, I tried to recruit him, and he told me no. So I don't know what that is, 7 years ago, maybe. And it's the best thing about college sports is watching young men grow. And you know, it's not the amount of time that Spence has been here or his age, is what he's done with his time. I mean, this dude's dedicated 2 years of his life to go serve people on his own dime. He is, you know, got his commercial and private real estate license already, and he's fully squarely working towards his career right now, like in the beginnings of his actual career, and he's doing incredible things on the basketball court for us. So he is he's using his time really, really well. He hasn't wasted a second of it, and he's going to come out of college in a place where very few of us have the opportunity to come out, which is like he's going to be a husband and a father and have a full ongoing career, and it's pretty exciting.
What's the biggest challenge of keeping this team improving every day now that the national spotlight's starting to kind of shift on them?
I think distractions are always just distractions. Winning is distractions, losing is distractions, time is distractions, weather is a distraction. It's all distractions. I do think we have a built-in advantage. We have guys that are pretty centered and grounded, and so I expect us to, keep trying to get better. We know we're barely into the infancy stage of this season, and we know what this season is going to bring, which is we're going to get punched in the face multiple times, and we're approaching this season incredibly humbly. We're going to go through a stretch in the Big 12 where we play every single night as a top 25 team, every single one, right? And so we get the challenge we're facing, and we have some desperation to get better. We got to get a lot better if we're going to be able to compete.
What's the likelihood Foose is back in non-conference play?
I'm super hopeful, but it just is, with an injury like this, it's kind of like day to day and see how it goes, like see how it feels. We'll spend a lot of time praying, and he'll spend a lot of time trying to heal, and he's a really important part of this team clearly, and we've got really spoiled functioning with him on the floor. I've got really spoiled for 2 years and a month, and since I haven't had him on the floor, so we're hoping he gets back soon.
Is Khalifa good to go for Friday? It was kind of probably surprised he was going to give it a go last week, but is he?
Yeah, we rushed him back a little bit. He's just got a strength disparity in his two quads that makes us nervous with this knee, and so we were trying to hold him out as long as we could to give him as much time as he could to continue strengthening that. He's done an unbelievable job getting in shape, and so we're now we don't really have any other alternatives. Like, we have to use him. I think he's excited about it, and he's probably a little quicker than I would have chosen in a perfect world. But he also gives us some new dynamics and ways to try and grow, and it comes with some other challenges too. So.
Spence mentioned that some of the guys root him for his age. I'm just curious, like, if there's any appropriate quips that you can share from that some of the younger players give to him.
Well, I think the guys were pretty excited when we didn't know he was the oldest player in college basketball. Tyson, did you make an announcement for us? I can't remember. But it's just, it's a locker room, a healthy places where everybody, it's open, for everybody to speak freely and tease each other. And fortunately, Spence has been through everything. Like, he's been through everything. So I think he's embracing this opportunity to really lead a team. I mean, he's the lone super senior on this team, and I think he's worked. He's come a long way since his first training camp here, where he sat out almost the entire training camp and was really struggling to now where he is just the consummate leader on this team. And I don't know. I love it because in college you don't get to see guys for as long as we've got to see Spence, and you don't get to see him grow kind of from beginning to a really finished product like he is. And so it's actually a beautiful thing. I wish we had more guys that could do that.
Leadership and like development are kind of like two huge words you hear in sports. I'm
Yeah.
curious, like with somebody as as mature as Spencer is, and kind of like the ways that you've alluded to that being an asset
Yeah.
to this team, what are some of like the smaller in between veteran things
Uh-huh.
that he gives you day to day on the court, off the court, that really exemplify that about him?
Yeah, so he does it with his play. First of all, like he's so solid defensively. He's so like on point with his assignments all the time. He's grown. You know, he's the 13th best 3-point shooter in the country last year, but he's grown in his playmaking ability. He's in the top. You know, he's nationally ranked right now in terms of assist rate, and that's been a growing process for him. So he's doing it with his play, but even more importantly, he's just kind of got this veteran feel like, yep, I'm not too stressed about A, B, or C because I've seen it all before, right? You know, you're in the game and we start out poorly, and Spencer's like, everyone just relax. Like, we've been here before, we've done this before, or things are going really easy, and Spencer's like, hey, don't get too high. Like, we got a ton of work ahead of us, and that's one of the beautiful things that come with a veteran guy is he just is not kind of being blown in the wind like most of the young guys are, kind of riding the waves of all the public emotion. They kind of understand like what a season is, and it's full of challenges and victories, and he kind of rides that wave really well.
What did you learn most about your team at NC State win?
I think I was proud of our guys. You know, it was the second time this season where we kind of were like a little bit stuck in the second half. You know, around the 6 or 8 minute mark against San Diego State, we were kind of like stuck a little bit, and our guys stayed really focused. They didn't get distracted by the game, and I felt like they didn't really get distracted by the game. With North Carolina State, I felt like they were just like next play. Let's go, you know, next play, and we'll kind of figure this out. We were super shaky to start the game, and you know, we kind of gave them an early 10-point lead, 12-point lead, and the guys were like, okay, so yeah, this is not great, but let's move on to the next play, and that is going to be a ridiculously important skill set for us this year. Like this is going to be really hard, and so we got to move on to the next play. And I think we have a group that's in a pretty good spot that's able to do that as well as anybody.
Spencer touched on the disruptiveness of the defense. Obviously, the last 2 games there was some frustration, opposing frustration, some skirmishes there. What is it about your defense that gets under opponent's skin like that?
I think one, it's just competitive, right? This was I think the Arizona State and North Carolina State games probably had different dynamics. I think that, you know, Arizona State was just so frustrated, partly because of us and partly because of them. They just had such a terrible shooting night. They just couldn't buy a basket, and I think that breeds all kind of frustration. And certainly the point spread and all those things are frustrating. And then North Carolina State was a game. Like, it was 2 undefeated teams. And there's something where you're rolling around undefeated 4 or 5 or 6 games into the season where, you know, you just, like, there's a ton of fight, right? There's a ton of fight to keep that kind of perfect mark going, and you know, there was a really nice cadence to the game where it was kind of like a puncher's game, just back and forth, and it's high stakes. You know, it's kind of like these MTEs are kind of the end of the first fifth of the season, right? So your first 20% of the season, and it's kind of like how are you going to finish it out? And I think that mattered to both teams, and so it was super competitive. I think that we play a really aggressive style of play offensively for sure. I think defensively, we're trying to be really dialed in together and cause some frustration, not just with changing defenses, but being really solid and you know, it's teams fighting it out. It's great.
You're 9 days away from a fairly big game. Is it hard not to glance ahead? How do you keep these guys focused in the meantime with 2 games?
I wish we were good enough to like worry about, Baylor or Kansas State or Kansas, right? But we got Fresno State. It's a really good team, and we're gonna have our hands full, and that's one of the great strengths of this team is I think our guys can stay focused on that. It's not hard to look around and see all the stuff that happens in college basketball every day, right? And so we know if we don't come and perform our best and we're not playing on our toes, that the night can get really, really hard. And so we got to go find a way to win Friday. And that's actually a fun way to live. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to live any other way. These games are awesome. And like I said, this deal is going to be massively challenging on Friday, and we got to go find a way to do it.
Is Tiki back for Friday?
Tiki is back. Yep, he's back.
One more.
In terms of the scout and game prep, you have a couple additional coaches, Colin and maybe some other staff members. How has that maybe changed the way that you approach game prep?
Yeah, so Coach Fennell is in charge of all of our game prep and assigning it out. So we're kind of double teaming every scout right now. Cahill's taken half of them on his own, and then he's distributed the others. And I think we're doing it better than we have before. I think, I don't know if you guys had a chance to walk in our offices, but we tore down all the walls. And it used to feel super siloed, which was a little bit of an example of kind of how it felt sometimes. And now it's just like there's nowhere you can go where you can't see each other. In fact, Coach Fennell actually changed his office because where he was, like if I looked up from my desk, I was looking straight at him, looking up from his desk. He's like, I can't take the pressure. So, but I think we're doing this really community wide, and we need to. Like, we don't have a ton of room for error. We have a good team, and we have some spaces that are real strengths for us. But we're not an overwhelming group. We can overwhelm people with our group, but we are not overwhelming individuals. And so, we need to do this collectively. Our guys need to do it 5-on-3. Every space in this game where they can be 5-on-3, we need to do it there. And our staff is the same. Like, we got to do this as a community group. So it is helping to have some extra bodies because we have really talented assistant coaches and we have really talented GAs and I like our staff now a lot right now and we need each other. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here.